So I just received a notification on my phone saying that the power grid was like in super hot weather conditions, and so we have to turn off our lights, and I did that, okay? That's why in this video, if my webcam looks a little bit darker, that is why. The power grid is super hot, and so I turned off my light. There you go, that's the reason. But let's get into today's video, guys, which is actually an interesting one called Why You Are Lonely and How to Make Friends. This one was actually on the trending page, and I wanted to check it out with you guys today. So without further ado, everybody, let's go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe. I've watched this dude's video before, but I haven't subscribed to him yet, so there we go. I'm so glad I got to subscribe. This dude makes cool videos. Let's get right into this, though.
Friends make life good. They provide the scaffolding that makes it not just bearable, but fun. They give us a sense of meaning and purpose, and are a source of security, self-esteem, and happiness.
For sure. Yeah, those are all valid, 100%. They can be in that category, unless you have bad friends, okay? And if you have bad friends, they're probably doing bad stuff, right? They're doing bad stuff. You have bad friends. You probably don't need to be friends with the bad friends. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yes, they can make your life better, but they could also make it worse.
Nothing predicts how happy you will be as how connected you feel, and a lack of social connection is associated with a number of diseases and a shorter life. But maybe you have scrolled through your phone unsure who...
A shorter life, that part is only if you're actually sad about it. And if you're not sad about it, then, I mean, I don't think that really counts. But if you are sad about it, then that can definitely contribute to, like, a lower lifespan. Because, you know, being sad, man, it takes a toll, dude.
...to call to go to a movie with, to celebrate with, or ask for comfort. You may realize that you don't have enough friends and feel lonely. And
True.
It's not just you. Disconnectedness and loneliness are widespread. Many people...
That's a fact. That's a fact. Anyone who goes through it, you're not alone, man. Like, it's literally all across the country, all across the world.
Want more close friends, but don't know
I wanted to watch this video because it's important to get that out there.
how to get them. Surprisingly, nowadays, loneliness is highest among young people, whose relationships were also hit especially hard by the global pandemic. Social distancing stopped teens and young adults from mingling in classrooms, clubs, or dorms. Millions of friendships, maybe lifelong friendships, that might have blossomed will never exist, with
That's true. A lot of it did happen from the lockdowns.
profound long-term consequences for our collective happiness. The good news is that it's not too late, and there are lots of friends to be found.
Yes.
We'll mix scientific information with actionable advice in this video, but we can't address every individual situation. People, cultures, and schedules are different. If you suffer from chronic loneliness, you can also watch the video we made about it.
I might have to watch that video, dude. I ain't gonna lie, dude. These videos are really cool, and they definitely teach you a lot, man. They teach you a lot, and you can kind of connect with it a little bit if you're in that scenario where you do feel like you are in this type of living. So I think these videos are really cool. Let me know if you guys want me to react to this one, and I'll definitely do that.
Okay. As with all important things in life, making friends is infuriatingly simple, but not necessarily easy. But it works through a few pretty straightforward mechanisms. The most important thing about making friends. People make friends with other people when they spend casual time together. This is how our ancestors formed their relationships, because humans lived in small, close-knit communities in which options for making friends were limited, so we just formed good relationships with the people who were around us.
True. Like, if we didn't have that many people around and we only had, like, just a few people, you'd automatically become friends because, like, who else are you going to become friends with, you know? And, like, you know, we're social creatures. At least some of us. I feel like some of us are different, man. Some of us be like, I'm not social at all. And then some of us be like, I'm super social. So, yeah, it's differing depending on what the person is or who the person is.
This is why it's so easy to form new friendships in school and university. Society locks you and your peers in a building.
True. Yeah, exactly. You get put in a building with a bunch of people and you can't leave for 8 hours. Yeah.
For several years. You share similar activities, but more importantly, similar schedules. Overlapping and fluctuating social circles form, naturally giving you regular FaceTime and shared experiences with many different people. Time to find others with similar worldviews or senses of humor. Proximity can be more important than similar interests. One study found that in student dormitories, the distance between rooms was the strongest friendship predictor. Living closer together meant a higher chance of becoming friends.
Interesting. I wonder how that's like tested. Like, how do you test that, man?
Another study showed that being physically present in a class a lot
Because you're 5 centimeters away from each other, you are now best friends. Like, what?
without saying a word makes others more sympathetic to you. So the most important principle of making friends is to regularly spend time with people in the real world. This alone can make it happen automatically and
It's really hard, though. That's the thing. Like, you can do that, and you can definitely go out into the world and, like, find people to be friends with. But it's really hard.
this alone can make it happen automatically and trumps all other advice. But don't
Yeah, but once again, it's hard.
forget that making friends is not a numbers game or a competition. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone has a social calibrator that can change as you go through life. Maybe you were more
Yes, dude.
introverted as a teen, but yearn for
And that's true. You could change how you are. Like, maybe one time, or maybe one part of your life, you could have been an introvert, and then the next part of your life, you could have been an extrovert. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, things can change like that in life. So, that's really cool and interesting. About what he said, about different life paths. So, everybody has a different life path, and that's what I feel like. And obviously, you know, I think it's pre-picked, but, you know, everyone has a different life path. So, don't compare yourself to the next person because their life path is different than yours. Okay, you'll get to where you need to be in due time. You just have to be patient, okay? You have to be patient. And you'll get to where you need to be, and then you can go on your way, and you can be happy in that lane that you get to. But don't compare yourself to another person. Don't say, oh, they have this, and I don't, so I'm sad. Don't do that, okay? It's bad. Because their life path is completely different than your life path. So don't compare your life path to their life path. It's just like, it's crazy if you do that. Okay, just get rid of it. Just don't look at it anymore. Just be like, their life path is different than mine, and that's okay. That's okay because everyone has a different life path. You know what I'm saying?
action in your 20s. Maybe you were part of sprawling social circles but prefer fewer friends in your 30s. There is no right or wrong, only right for you. Why we don't have enough friends? The main reason for a lack of friendships is the simple fact that most people don't prioritize friendships nearly enough. They don't realize until it's too late that retaining friendships demands regular energy and attention. Although they
That's true, man. It does require a regular energy, dude. And if you don't do it regularly, it can start to fade away, dude.
are so important for happiness, friends often take a back seat to other life decisions. Work, commuting, romance, or kids take up so much time and energy
There's just so much to do in a day.
that it's so much easier to crash on your couch and lose yourself in mindless activities. Especially as an adult, going for a bike ride, getting dinner, or visiting a hobby store takes much more mental effort and commitment than it did after school when time ran slower and energy and curiosity were abundant. But it's not just adults who are too busy for friends. The average American teenager spends more time on TikTok every day than socializing at parties, events, or on the phone with friends combined.
That's true, man. That's such a fact.
Established friendships don't require the same time investment as early friendships to keep up, but they do require some commitment. As life distracts you, it's easy to skip out on checking in when a friend goes through exciting or depressing times. And so many friendships fade for lack of attention, often by accident. Which is extra tragic because there is never only one person losing a friend, it's always at least two.
Yeah, because both people now don't have a friend.
Another thing that makes many people vulnerable is the way friendship networks are structured. The friendship paradox is the phenomenon that on average, most people have fewer friends than their friends. Which makes sense since you're more likely to be friends with someone who has many friends than with someone who has few. Rather than being densely interconnected, friend networks are often built around central hubs. So if central people disappear from your life, this can deprive you of many connections at once.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I don't know how you would get that or how you would test that, but that's really cool.
And it can lead to a distorted self-perception, that you are less popular than others, although you are perfectly average. It can get worse quickly with big life events. Maybe you move for school, work, or love, and are left without social networks.
True.
Or you had a breakup that left you with the smaller part of the formerly shared social pie. The reasons why you find yourself with less connection than you want are as diverse as people, but the underlying cause is almost always time. There is no shortcut. To make new friends and retain friendships, you have to prioritize relationships spend time with people in real life, and make them feel that you care.
Yeah, you have to spend time with them. You have to actually put in time into this effort to make an effort, because if you don't, then that friendship isn't going to last because there's nothing being put into it.
So take a look at yourself and rebalance what you spend your life doing. How to make new friends.
Let's go.
Studies have shown that new friendships can develop quite quickly, weeks after you meet someone. But it takes a few months for a casual friendship to become a close relationship, with the biggest impediment being time invested and the quality of your interactions. To make friends, it helps if you intentionally look for people you have.
I feel like that would be more in schools, though. Yeah, okay, so what I meant by that was, so if you're in school, right, you're surrounded by people and you're constantly surrounded by your friends. Okay, like if you make a friend, that friend is also going to the same school, so you're surrounded by them for a long period of time every single day. So, but adults, they have work, they have all this stuff that they're doing, so they only see their friends like maybe, what, a few times a week, right? So you actually spend more time with your friends because you're in school. So I think it's valuable to use that moment to connect.
To make friends, it helps if you intentionally look for people you have things in common with and who are open to new relationships.
This is good advice. This is good advice. Look for someone who has the same topic, loves as you, the same passion as you. Okay, if you guys both like a video game, and that's like, yo, this is my favorite video game, and then this person's like, this is also my favorite video game. That's one topic that you guys connect on. And I'd say, like, if you have many topics that you connect on, like, go for it. Or even just one.
You want to make it easy for yourself, so examine what kind of person you are. Generally speaking, extroverts tend to crave sensory stimulation, spicier foods, loud music, or the excitement of engaging a crowd. Introverts often
I'm sorry, but what spicy food? That's not, I don't believe that, bro. I don't believe that's proven, dude. Come on now. Come on, dude. I like spicy food. Now, if we're talking about spicier, I can't do super hot stuff, but I can do hot stuff, man, you know?
Confused with shy people tend to be more
Alright, let me go back.
excitement of engaging a crowd. Introverts, often confused with shy people, tend to be more sensitive to
often confused with shy people, yeah. Yeah, because, like, those two things are actually different. Because, like, when you're shy, it's like, I don't know, it's mainly the feeling. But when you're an introvert, it's kind of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the whole characteristic of it.
sensory stimulants and prefer quieter surroundings, fewer people, and even less spicy food. Different places attract different people.
Don't believe that's proven, bro.
Not everybody can easily make friends at a bar or a football game. Not everybody finds a stroll through a park or a bookstore stimulating. Yeah. Men especially form friendships around shared activities, but in general,
Dude, people have different ways of doing things. Some people can attract friends way easier than the next person can. Than you can or me can. You know what I'm saying? We all have differences. We all have, like, different levels where we're at, okay? Like, someone can just go down the road and be like, hey, what's up? And then they can be like, yo, what's good? And then boom, you're friends. You're just lifelong friends. Like that. People can do that. And it just depends on the person.
Men especially form friendships around shared activities, but in general, it's a good idea to go to places that feel comfortable, where there are people you might like, who do things you find interesting. Look for local clubs or opportunities to volunteer. Check out what hobby stores are around and dust off your Space Marines, or see if there are new D&D groups in your city and ask if you could join one. Check meetup apps for gaming nights or wine tasting, join a sports club, or look for people who go hiking or want to cook together. Another obvious avenue is your professional life. It helps if you work in a job that attracts people like you, so you might consider this when you choose a career.
Yeah, work wherever you want to work. Wherever is like your passion, work there, dude. Do that as your job.
Deepening your relationship with colleagues can lead to great friendships, especially if you look for peers and there is no power imbalance. And of course, there are friends you've lost touch with. You may be able to revive some of these relationships. In some cases, all it needs is a call or an invitation.
True, dude. That's it. That's as simple as it is. And sometimes it can be super hard, but that's literally how simple it is.
Research shows that more often than not, the other person will appreciate that you've reached out. There are likely way more opportunities to spend time with others than you are aware of. And if there aren't, you can take the initiative and create them. Invitations are signals to start friendships. So bring people together by having a dinner party, organizing a football game after work, or starting a board game group. Everybody appreciates people who organize fun things, and the simple act of reaching out can kickstart a self-propelling upward spiral of well-being, fun, and connectedness that can seriously improve the life of everyone around you in meaningful ways.
I like that advice. That's good advice.
If you meet someone you vibe with, it's pretty scary to make the first move, but they may feel the same way.
True.
Equally interested in a friendship, but also blocked by fear of rejection. So it's worth going for it. Worst case, they're not interested, which will sting for a few hours, but the best case could be a lifelong friendship. A risk well worth the reward. Once you've formed early connections, check in whether they have important things happening in their life. Of course, it's important not to be overbearing, but the more time you invest, the more opportunity you have to engage in meaningful banter or silly jokes.
Yeah, like don't overdo it. Don't be like, hey, what you got going on today? What you got going on tomorrow? What you got going on the next day? What you got going on the next day and the next day and the next day? Don't do that. That's overdoing it, bro.
The fact that friendships
like over time, just like, I don't know, like over time, you'll understand the pattern and you'll understand like the schedules that you'll create, but like don't do that.
take time also means that you need to be patient and kind with yourself, especially if you're out of practice. Things will not improve overnight, but slowly, step by step, if you keep up. Open up, care, and share. Many people don't have an issue being around others, but struggle to turn acquaintances into friends. So let's talk about two important principles that make it more likely that you'll connect: caring and sharing.
Caring and sharing. The two basics.
In general, our favorite topic is ourselves and the things we care about, because we are literally at the center of our own universe. So people tend to like people who are genuinely interested in them. So if you want to make friends, your goal should be trying to learn what makes them tick. Just as important as caring about others is reciprocity and openness. To connect, you need to share the experiences that made you, you. Now, you don't want to overwhelm the other person and immediately spill out your deepest secrets, but open up a little and reveal personal things, because this also signals to others that it's okay to do the same.
Yeah, I like that. I like that info, because like if you could be 100% real, like with your friends, that would just significantly improve the quality of that friendship.
The best case is that you find shared experiences. Maybe you both had a hard time in school, maybe you share a passion for weird movies.
Yes.
Learning about others and sharing personal stories in a balanced way and not overdoing it is not an exact science. Noticing the line between opening up and oversharing requires practice and depends on the vibe of the conversation. One of the perplexities of life is that to get something, it can be helpful to convince yourself that you want it less than you do. In general, it's good to be laid back, have fun, and enjoy yourself. Do things for yourself without expectations, but also be open to social opportunities and accept invitations if they show up.
I mean, I think you should be expectant in certain situations and like instances. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you should definitely be expectant. Like, you should be expecting to a certain extent.
And that's basically it. Give friendships more.
Because, like, expecting it is pretty much the same thing as believing. Like, you're expecting, you're believing, you know?
Priority in your life. Check in with friends and regularly go to things to have fun. Show genuine interest in others and give them the opportunity to know you without selling yourself too hard. If you do this, you're on track. If this sounds a bit scary, the good news is that human brains are hardwired to seek connection. It's perfectly normal to seek out new friends, and there are many people who would welcome more close relationships.
Yeah.
There are friendships up for grabs everywhere, and there are plenty of people who will be so happy to have you in their life. As a good friend, go get to know them. For a short time, there's a free, community-organized, worldwide Kurzgesagt meetup. If you're over 18 and...
Alright, that's the video, dude. I really enjoyed that video. To be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. They really gave some good advice. Like, a lot of the advice they gave was actually, like literally spot on. Like, you could take that advice, you can use it, and you could definitely one-up your, like, your friend group. And, like, any friends that you currently have. And if you don't have any, you could learn how to possibly make new friends. And also, revive old friends. I was about to say retrieve. Wait, what? Revive the old friendship. Okay, you could do that. Like, you can revive different old friendships, and then you could go find new friendships all over the place. So I think it's really cool, and I think this video definitely does give some really good advice. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. Subscribe, like, hopefully I can turn my light on soon after this grid thing goes away, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day.